Be over at 10, you tell me time and again, but you're late. Hi, I'm editing Fun Friday. I'm wondering, I want to ask you a question. Do you ever stick around for the extra jokes at the end and the outtakes and bloopers on the end of Fun Friday? Just curious. I have a topic, but I found something good for constipation. I'm going to make a video on it, diatomaceous earth, which I'm sure I knew that. I'm sure I knew that already, but also pumpkin and flaxseed oil are good. I used that with Sara. But Pearl's dog food recipe is online, you know, on one of my videos is my dog Pearl's raw food diet. Pearl was my dog Sara, and I haven't made a video about Sara yet. Excuse me for editing while I'm talking. We lost Sara in March of this last year, 2015. It was one of the hardest things I've done in my life, and my heart was broken, just completely broken. Sara had, her real name was Sara, and her stage name was Pearl. She did videos with me. We could howl together. Sara would, I forgot I don't have to call her Pearl. She didn't know her name was Pearl, so excuse me. Okay, I'm still editing Fun Friday for this week, but I was talking about Pearl, or Sara. You guys can know, she can have her real name can be known now. I was protecting her identity. Her name was Sara, our dog. And it's hard to call her a dog. Some pets aren't dogs, you know, or cats. They're not, I mean, they're part of the family. Many people have pets that become part of the family. Well, we had her for 12 years, and she was like my little girl. She was just so precious, and she'd howl with me. I don't want to make a video yet about her because I know it's going to be very emotional. We had to put her down. It's hard to say that. In March of 2010. No, March of this year. I just ran across this glove in the upstairs hallway. This is a remnant of last winter. I feel like throwing this. Last winter was so harsh. Last winter was why we had to lose Sara, because it was so brutal. It was just, there was so much ice and big. I should be editing. I shouldn't be talking. There was well, yeah, I'm supposed to be vlogging, but there was so much snow, and the snow in back I was taking care of my mom last winter, and she had just passed away in January, and we had a wheelchair ramp on the hot back of the house for my mom, and the wheelchair ramp beat the crap out of Sara. I was taking care of her before my mom came. I had always taken care of Sara's condition. So yes, she had a basal cell tumor on her scalp. I think it was a basal cell carcinoma is what they call them. That's what common to dogs on their scalp. So I knew what it was because those are common, and it looked just like a basal cell tumor. So I took care of that with Miracle Mineral Solution a couple of years before, and they're supposed to come back. Those are supposed to grow back. So I knocked it down. I have pictures of it, and I'll make a webpage of it. It took it all the way down to the surface of the skin. It like deflated it. Just the Miracle Mineral solution, just you holding the solution next to it with a paper towel, and it just, by a few applications of a heavy drop solution mixture, like a 27 drop solution, I got rid of that, and then it grew back. They're supposed to come back. So if I would have brought her to the vet would have taken it off, and it would have come back anyway, because they're known to come back. So the next time I got rid of it with black salve again, and then the last time I treated it with so 2 times I got rid of it for her. And I suppose we think she was on a raw food diet, and we think that cheap ground beef contributed to, there's that red dye in it that they call red slime, and well, that's the only thing about her diet that wasn't healthy. We used to even got her grass-fed beef one time, grass-fed ground beef, but the budget was got strict, and even regular good ground beef I couldn't get for her. The one without that never had the red slime, pink slime. Eventually, I guess they were supposed to not all not have that, but the one we had to buy was extra. Sometimes we had to buy the extra cheap one, and that helped to grow that tumor, we're thinking. And so I couldn't keep her tumor under control, and then it would affect her vision. When I'd treat the tumor, she would have a green ooze or red, yellow ooze come out of one of her eyes. It would take the tumor down, and it would release something inside the body that would come out of her eye, a green, heavy, I can't think right now because I'm supposed to be editing on Friday. It would a discharge would come out of her eye, and we could wipe it off of the eye. It was so thick, it was a thick paste of it, and we'd wipe it off of her eye, but that was the tumor being released through the inside of her from her brain, and it must have been on the optic nerve, because she would be blinded with this thing, and then after the stuff would ooze out, she would get her eyesight back. Well, when it was not under control, she used to fall. She fell off of the wheelchair ramp, she slid off onto the steps. The steps were next to it, and she got confused with when she used to go out the back door. The light would hurt her eyes when her eyes were vision was not good, and so she slipped and she fell off of the wheelchair ramp twice and hit the cement. And then I had to get her up and out of there by lifting her up. She was big, she was pretty big, and she would go down beside the wheelchair ramp in the house, which was really a small space, and she was afraid to come out. She wouldn't come out underneath it, so I had to reach in beside in the winter, in the blinding elements. I mean, it was so cold and windy, and get her out, and it was so hard because she didn't want to come out. She was afraid, and I'd have to go reach with two hands in this skinny space and pull her up out of there, and it was brutal on her, and it beat up her legs. And in the backyard, when we'd put her out, we shoveled a walk for her to go into the backyard but when her vision was bad at night, she would bang her legs against the ice, and it hurt her hips. It hurt them so bad. I mean, it damaged her. But it was like my mom or her, and I couldn't take her for walks. And I was taking her for a walk every morning. I have a video of her. This was her neighborhood. I couldn't look around the streets without crying past this street because I used to walk her. I'm sorry. And she was just a puppy, a perpetual puppy. She was so full of life. And I forgot what made me talk about her. Yeah, we lost Sara. Oh, she's on the screensaver on this phone. That's what made me think of her, I'm sure. Her picture is. And I mean, I don't another dog, people say get another dog. Another dog might make you temporarily feel better, but if you have a puppy that you love, a dog that you are in love with, who fell in love with Sara, it's not gonna, no one can ever take a person's place, and no one can ever take your dog's place, And I want to make a video about that one day, because I want people to know what happened to her. She's a video star. I used to call her immediate darling. I better go because I'm going to cry, baby. Peace. I'll sing for you. I have to learn the words. I'm going to learn the words to that. I'm going to promise to learn the words to that. That was the song of my first boyfriend. Not my first. It was 7th grade. That was 7th grade. And that song was out, and I said that was our song, or we said, I don't know who. It was kind of dumb. I don't think we even spoke to each other. I don't remember talking about it. I don't think we had anything to say to each other. No. We stood outside beside the gym, outside of the school. We were standing beside the gym when we were supposed to meet for like a date or something like that. He had a gym bag. He had You know how boys carry gym bags? So we met outside the gym doors, the gym part of the school that was the gym doors. You know, this was like a hallway part of the outdoor, a courtyard, I guess it would be. I had never had any reason to go back there. I never would, because it was the doorway where you come out from the gym or something like that. And we met there, and I remember standing, and it was windy, and he was standing there, and I was so quiet. I don't think I had a word to say. And I remember he spit. You know, it's supposed to be cool when a boy spits, and I'll never forget this. I mean, I remember lots of little details in my life. I remember the spit got caught by the wind and came back and hit and fell on his gym bag. He spit on his gym bag. Poor guy. And he was trying to be cool, and I remember seeing it get caught by the wind and hit the gym bag, and I was so quiet. I was painfully quiet. Who would have thought I would grow up and have a YouTube channel and be chattering my head off, even in a car and on a cell phone thing? It's absolutely absurd. I would have said you were nuts. These are pretty, huh? Christmas lights. That's pretty, isn't it?